Hi everyone, welcome to MSA TV. My name is John Raimondi and I'm Customer Development Manager for Respiratory Protection. Today I'm going to take a few minutes to show you how to set up a basic airline respirator system. Airline respirators are not just the part you breathe through. Airline respirators include a number of fittings, hoses, and the proper connection to the air source. And sometimes people have a little bit of difficulty figuring that out. I'm just going to take a couple minutes and show you how this works. Right now I have the Premier Cadet airline respirator. This is a straight pressure demand airline respirator. It does not include an escape bottle. Therefore, you are unable to use this particular respirator in an IDLH condition. However, it is used in a lot of respiratory applications. Nonetheless, it's the same type of airline fitting setup. So just take a look. Generally, whenever you get an airline respirator, you can either get it with no fitting included or with a fitting that would be included in your order. If you do not have an airline fitting at the end of your respirator where the airline comes in, you can choose from one of several types of fitting. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and show you some of the key airline fittings that we work with that are approved on a number of our airline respirators. Although we do have quite a few different fittings available in different materials, the ones you're about to see are the most common ones. And I just wanted to take a minute and show you how each one operated and what some of the differences are in each. The first one I'm going to look at is a standard snap-tight fitting. This one is operated very simply. It is a non-locking fitting, which means that only one motion is required to disengage. Here's the plug, here's the female socket. All you need to do is pull that apart, pull the collar back, and it will disengage. And it will also engage. Very, very quickly, if you do pull that back, the plug will disengage automatically, so you don't have to pull it apart. So just so you know, this can pull apart very easily. The second type of fitting that I'm going to show you, this is a Foster or a Schrader style of fitting from that we offer on many of our respirators. And the way this one operates, it is a twist lock. So the collar twists and the plug disengages from the female socket. And in order to re-engage, just press it straight in and it snaps into place. This is a Hansen brass fitting. This one's used in a lot of petroleum-based industries, and the reason that this is used in that area is because of the brass really doesn't create a spark. So you'll see that in a lot of places with explosive environments. So the Hansen brass, once again, it is just you pull back the collar and pull apart the fitting, and it does come loose whenever you pull it back. So these are your primary types of non-locking fittings that we work with. Now I'm going to show you two different types of locking fittings. And the lock and quick disconnect fittings, once again, they are used to interlock airline hose. If you want to use fittings on airline hose, they must be lock and quick disconnects. And these are two of them. First one is a snap tight, and this works by pressing the male plug side and pulling back the collar. Whenever you engage, you just press it together. So you have to both pull back the collar and press it in. Same deal on the same type fitting. Once again, you have to press it in and pull back the collar for it to be disengaged. It's a whole lot easier to show it whenever it's actually attached to a piece of airline hose. Once again, use these when you are using quick disconnects for airline hose. So we have the airline hose attached, the fitting, press it in, pull the collar back. It's that simple. Okay, so I've attached plumber's tape to the threading, and I'm going to wrench tighten the male plug onto the end of the respirator. Now what we need to do is find a way of getting air from the air source to the respirator, and that'll be done through an airline hose. Now to attach the respirator to the airline hose, you need a female socket that the male plug will attach to. And this female socket goes at the end of the airline hose on these threads right here. Now, another good rule of thumb is that if you see an O-ring, and this plug should have an O-ring in it, if you see an O-ring, you don't need plumber's tape. So that's a good rule of thumb, anything dealing with airline. So what you can do, just attach this to the end of the airline hose, like this. And that O-ring should give you a nice seal. So just a little wrench tighten to snug it up is more than sufficient. So there we have a female socket onto the airline hose. Now there may be situations in which you will need to connect two lengths of airline hose. Here we have the hose that's on the respirator end, and this length of hose will be attached to the air source. There are two ways that you can attach hoses together. The first one would be just to string them together like a garden hose, where you would take this and just screw it into the end, and again wrench tighten and snug it up. Now, in times where your customer or you may want to deploy a little bit more quickly, you may want to use quick disconnects. Now, this is very important. If you are going to use quick disconnects, they need to be a locking type of quick disconnect. Okay, so while this is okay, if you want to use a quick disconnect, you need to have a locking type. The reason that you need a locking type of quick disconnect is that so that there's no accidental disengagement of the airline hose. So this is a snap-tight type of quick disconnect. We also offer a couple of seine fittings and snap-tight stainless steel. But these are a locking quick disconnect. What makes them locking is that they require two motions to disengage the fitting. So with that, I'm going to attach, again, we have a plug. I'm going to attach that to the end of one hose, and the socket I'm going to attach to here. So that is that's attached, and in order to put them together, there is a quick disconnect or a quick connect where that locks into place. In order to unlock the fitting, you need to do two things. You need to push the hoses together and pull back this collar. Okay? So that's how a locking quick disconnect connects. So if you can see that you can't pull this collar back without first pushing it in. And that's important. You don't want somebody to be dragging an airline across the ground, accidentally hit something, and all of a sudden they're out of air. That's not good. So locking quick disconnects, if you're going to use quick disconnects, they must be locking. Can't stress that enough. So we have airline hose, we have a fitting, we have a respirator. Now what do we need to do? We need to attach this to an air source. You know, at first I'm just going to attach this and point something out to you. Whenever you look at an airline respirator, what you see here from the face piece, or what's known in the business as the respiratory inlet cover, all the way to the end of this hose, this is all part of the NIOSH approval for that respirator. So every part in here must be approved, including the airline hose and including all fittings. From that point forward, it is not a part of the NIOSH approval for the respiratory device. Okay, does that make sense? Let's move forward. Let's connect this to our air source. So now I'm going to just plug in my completed airline hose with the fitting and the unit adapter into my air source. and just pop it right in, and there you have it. You're ready for air. Whenever you do go to disengage the system, make sure everything's depressurized. And in this case, because it's a Foster Schrader style fitting, it's just a twist lock to disengage. So, so that's kind of one of those reasons why you see what happens whenever you have a non-locking quick disconnect. It just pops right out. Thanks again for joining us here today on MSA TV. Be sure to visit our website at www.msanet.com. If you have any questions about what you saw today or any MSA product, please contact MSA's Customer Service Center or contact your local MSA sales associate. Thanks again for joining me on MSA TV today. Have a safe day.